If Dan Bongino legitimately says he said we're actively investigating, and if that is the case, one of the first things you got to do is take a look at the lab leak, which it's basically confirmed across the board. COVID leaked from a lab. Then you have to ask, why did they make this virus? And you have EcoHealth Alliance, Peter Daszak, and Anthony Fauci. And then you get to the congressional hearing with Rand Paul asking Dr. Fauci, did you engage in gain-of-function research? And according to numerous reports, Anthony Fauci lied under oath. Any active investigation should reasonably include within it the resulting criminal prosecution of Anthony Fauci for perjury.
Absolutely. I mean, that
among other things.
I mean, it should be extremely obvious to people. That shouldn't be controversial. Like there's clear evidence that Fauci was lying under oath.
I'm sorry. Fauci was untruthful. That's what Newsweek said.
In quotes, even.
I see now.
Which is perfect. But I mean, it is a terrible development or a terrible condition that the media literally runs interference for people like Fauci that are responsible for, some terrible medicine. We'll leave it at that.
Hey, guess what? Now you understand. Well, not now you understand.
Viruses.
I don't mean it to sound patronizing or condescending here. Now we see very clearly why the media is losing their minds and trying to shift the mental health question of Biden over to Trump, as Thompson and Tapper have done in the last couple of days. They don't want to talk about the idea of whether Biden's auto pen use was legitimate, because once you open a lot of these individuals up for prosecution that they auto-penned their way out of and magical last-minute totally covers anything pardons, now you can start to bring a situation where perhaps Fauci makes a deal so that 5 or 6 members of Congress are now in the targets for things that they might have been involved in. Because as we know from the Democrats, as Schumer learned from good old David Hogg, when you raise a generation to backstab just like you did, don't be surprised when you've got a blade between the shoulders.
All that needs to happen is for the FBI to go to Fauci and say, listen, Fauci, you are going to be prosecuted for perjury and you'll spend what life you have left behind bars, or give us something we can use, which is famously what the FBI likes to do. And then Fauci says, listen, I'll give you what I can. Just please don't arrest me. And then you end up with evidence against maybe, as you mentioned, some members of Congress who are complicit in covering things up.